So yeah, hey guys, welcome to another Pillars of Eternity stream with me, Supernautus. Today we've got a variety of things to do because we did most of the storyline quests that we were involved in there. I had a bit of a weird glitchy issue there at the beginning where I was trying to load and it didn't want to give me the chat display properly. Initially it didn't want to give me it at all, but this time it seems to be working okay. Now I'm just hoping we don't come across that loading issue that I had one of the times before, where it froze and wouldn't load. It looks suspiciously like that might be what's about to happen. Or not, here we go. The loading bar is rotating round the L. But it is freezing here and there. Still, hopefully it won't do it any longer. We can hope. That's about all we can do right now. It does seem to be taking longer to load than it has been previously. Oh, come on, today. Those are the controls for the game, if you're interested. We can zoom the map in and out. We can toggle fast mode with the right directional pad. I didn't know exactly how I did that, so okay. That's helpful. That's actually quite useful. And yeah, we are ready to go. So, last time out, we cleared out a few of the missions around about the kind of main story, and that's gone a bit weird. But now the main kind of storyline quest here is that we have to try and get into the Animancy hearing in order that we can pass on the real information that will ensure that the Animancers don't get, I don't know, torn to pieces. I don't know how easy that'll be, but, you know, we can have a look. But what I might do first is I'm going to go to this Cragholt place and investigate the conflict that's going on there. I don't know how well I'm going to do with that. We'll find out. So yeah, let's go and do that if I can. That's a good place to start. Well, I mean, I think so. Assuming we don't immediately get killed doing this mission. Which isn't impossible. It's in fact highly possible. Let's find out. So yeah, we just need to leave Defiance Bay once again. I don't know who I need to speak to. There's a couple of people I could speak to that might help me. But I'm not sure. Yeah, the loading times are being a bit crazy right now. Or at least more so than usual, I think. Okay. Oh, we're going to get attacked again by some assassins. I wonder who sent them. Doesn't really matter, they're not going to last very long anyway. I'll take them out. Right, so I wonder who sent these guys. Oh, there's a crumpled bit of paper. Written on this scrap of parchment's a concise but detailed description of me, including my name, distinguishing features, and everyone I've known. Trying to harm my friends. That's not going to end well for them. Not really. So we want to go to, if I can, Cragholt Bluffs. It's going to take a day and 8 hours, That's 27 minutes. Let's give it a shot. See what it's all about. The siege that we've got to try and deal with. I feel like it could be very dangerous. So yeah, last time we had a bit of an open war with one guy who was trying to take over our stronghold, if you like, of Kednua. We got rid of him. We dealt with him. It was one down, and countless more to go, no doubt. Let's see what this is all about. New map discovered. Oh, our barracks have finished being constructed. So let's upgrade something else while we can. I'm going to do the library just because why not?
Stop there.
Oh.
Where do you think you're going?
One of the guards is looking me up and down with a sneer.
This area is under the control of the Torn Bannerman. Anyone else wanders in, they're not leaving again.
We'll see about that.
Trouble over here.
I mean, we have to get in, so if they're not going to let us in, we have to get rid of them. This person has a lot of health and it seems to be recovering very quickly. When you're ready. Yeah, this battle's a little more difficult. Well, maybe that's because there's more than one of them there. Well, these people recover really quickly. It's actually a serious problem. One of us is going to fall in a minute if I'm not careful. Come on. Like, they're seriously recovering their health so quick. In fact, I'm sure that one actually revived as well. He died. No, look. Someone's recovering their health. How? At last he's gone. That took some time, didn't it?
You give me any more gifts and people will
I don't
start
seem to have any equipment that's particularly worrying. I've got to rest, because if I don't,
You're playing favorites.
at least one of us is going to die. Bubbles rise from the depths of a murky, sludgy stew. The few bones have been picked clean and they float amid swirling globules of grease or something. That was easy. I don't know what the situation was with those other ones, but he was easy to take
Give me any
down.
more gifts and people will start thinking you're playing favorites.
Oh, we've got some armour.
Far like this.
Not particularly interesting armour, but armour nonetheless. Well, let's take a look around. Where we can. There's obviously a big camp here. I'd rather not go into the middle of that because there's quite a lot of people. Yeah, you can come and find us if you want. Oh, my view has just disappeared. Yeah, they're all coming anyway. No choice. I have to just fight them all as quick as possible. Hurry up. Come on. I've got a feeling we probably need to come back here later. I don't think we're going to survive the full situation here. One guy's almost dead again. Yeah. I've got to be careful because if he dies again, I don't think we're strong enough to do this yet. I really don't. In fact, yeah, we're going to do that because I don't think we've had some fights with some basic enemies there and we're really not doing well. So I think we'll go and do some other things to try and just boost ourselves a bit first. Let's try and get into this this meeting. Only now we'll have to wait forever for the game to load for some reason again. Not having the greatest of days. Yeah, no, so that other quest, there's no point. No point right now. I've got to go through this fight again. Get rid of these idiots. For the second time. And now that one. Good. Now then, we need to try and get into this meeting. A couple of different people we can talk to try and get us into the meeting. I feel like probably the best people to speak to are going to be the knights. Well, at least I hope it'll be the knights. Because we don't want to get involved with the dozens, because they tried to get us killed. And the crime family, well, we did something that displeased them. I'm not entirely sure that the knights are very happy with us either. But only one way to find out. Go and speak to them. Because you can't know until you ask. Can you? You can't know until you've asked. And then we'll try the others as well if we aren't getting anywhere. The truth needs to come out. So who do I have to speak to here, I wonder? What about him? No, nothing to speak to him about. So now we want to find their leader and ask him instead. He's all the way up here. At the top of those stairs in the war room. Also, I feel like maybe these guys are the only ones that might pay attention to the severity of the situation. Yeah, I understand the Crucible Knights are attending the Animancer hearings.
Duke Avar looks to the knights for prudent counsel as well as defense. I suspect our future as a city and a nation depend in no small part on how we handle this matter.
Okay, well, I need an audience. So, because of my ties to the troublemakers at the Expedition Hall, okay. The difficulty is, they were really the best people to try and get to bring us in, because if I go with the dozens, they're going to be unhappy that I'm not taking their side with regard to Animancers. And I know that the other family that are going to be there are not going to let us come with them. I can pretty much bet that the next kind of thing that's going to happen with these people is... Well, let's try the dozens. We'll see what they do. But I'm pretty sure they're going to say no as well. Because we've done some stuff for the knights too. Well, we'll see. Go to Copper Lane and find out. But I'm pretty sure I already know the outcome of this. And it's that they're going to say no. If I have no way into the hearing, then it's not going to go well. I know that as well, because I obviously reloaded my game, the upgrade to the castle will still be... The castle to Kidnua will still be underway. Which is a little frustrating, but I'll get there. Okay, so we're going to try the Expedition Hall place. Even though they're not going to like what we're going to do when we get into the hearing. We're going to go and speak to them anyway, see if they will take us in. There's a good chance that they're not going to either. Because there was a bit of a falling out over a certain issue. Wasn't there? See if I can sell anything actually first. Show me your wares anytime soon. Yeah, we need to sell a lot of stuff. Got a little pig that I can use as a pet instead of the cat if I want. Let's keep that. Be useful for somebody. All those basic armors aren't worth bothering with. A couple of Engwithan shields. I don't think they're necessarily any better than anything. No, I need that back. Okay, we'll get that back in a minute. Keep that. There's a lot of stuff to get rid of. What's that? No. That's actually quite a nice little gun. So now I need to go all the way to the bottom and I need to get this back. And then I can put something else in there instead. Oh, what now? Everything just keeps popping in. It's because it seems to be a bit slow reacting there for some reason. Oh, just a sec. Ow. Okay, that armour might be useful, so we'll keep that for the moment. What's that? That can go. And that can go. Everything seems to be just going a bit slowly today. For some reason. Don't know why. Quite frustrating. Get rid of all that. And let's keep going. So let's go and talk to these guys and see if they'll actually do anything useful for us. Like bring us into the hearing. Deep down though, I think I already know the answer. I had to get some papers to somebody. The trouble was I think I gave them away to someone else. And so the knights aren't going to help us. I've got extra issues here, which is I think that these guys aren't going to help us either. I keep saying that because, you know, I'm aware that it almost feels like... Sorry, I've got things tangled up around me. There we go, that's better. Only cables tangled around me and God knows what. Here we go. So let's just see if these guys will take us in with them to speak to Wenan. Dozens are part of the Animancer hearings.
Blazing Crucible Knights from leading us all to ruin, and the Dominels certainly aren't doing their part. But Wolfgren's still a man of the people.
I was hoping to attend. There we go. I agree. Nothing else? I got what I needed. You're not going to like what I'm going to do, but I got what I needed. I got a way in. I can now show them the evidence that I found. That somebody, the Leaden Key specifically, is the cause of the problem with children being born soulless. Wideone's Legacy. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name of that, but Wideone's Legacy. It's only talked about like every 2 minutes in the game, isn't it? Every time you have a conversation with somebody, it's pretty much about that. Because it's a pretty big issue. I think you'll agree. Okay, I need out of here, that way. So now that we've done that, we can go and we can gain access to the hearing at the Ducal Palace. We can present our findings. The dozens might not be too happy about them, but then again, you know, they might still see it as proof that animancy is a bad thing. At this stage, that's kind of what I have to hope, that that's what they'll see it as. Because although it isn't the city's animancers that are causing the problem, it is some people with some spiritual powers, isn't it? So maybe they'll agree that it's still a bad thing, but that the Animancers aren't to blame. We can but hope. What do you think? We'll see, yeah? We shall see. I think, to be honest, the dozens just hope anyone will take their side. Anybody at all.
Here, kitty. Come on, I want to pet you.
Leave my cat alone. You strange man. Okay, so here we are. Here we are. Back here again. Ready this time, I hope, to move on in our story, shall we say. Seems like a fair estimation of the situation. I'm wondering actually in that other area if I could have like circled that camp and got through without being seen. It's possible. Who knows whether it was likely, but it's definitely possible in a lot of areas. Come on. Up the steps we go. Into Hadrit House, and to be ready for what we need to do at the Duke's Palace. Which I'm sure will lead us into some different part of our story. The part where we actually try and stop the legacy.
How fares your search?
If I'm going to do this for you, I think it's time you told me
I
everything.
told you everything you need to know. It's
But not
only
everything.
right that you know everything.
Yeah.
When I was younger, before Dunreed Row, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men of good stock. But I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts.
Fair enough.
I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them. And then I met a man whose mind was a mystery to me. But he understood me. He knew me at a glance. Told me things
Okay.
I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming. He was all
Do you think it was this Thaos guy?
we made a game of my gift. He would ask me
I guess
about
so.
people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information
Yeah, he used you, didn't he?
was sensitive. And then one day he asked me if I trusted him. I said I did. Next I knew I was donning a silver
Ah, so she was in the Leaden Key.
to Woodica. Using my gift for the Leaden Key still felt like a game to me.
Unhappy when she was younger.
I did it because it pleased him.
Of course, that didn't last because nothing ever
I
does.
don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose.
Yeah,
Every day I loved a man without knowing his thoughts of me.
I know that, just like everyone else then.
I sensed that there were things he wanted to tell me. I sensed that he knew everything the Leaden Key was created to hide.
Of course he did.
But Thaos was unyielding. One day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that.
Yeah.
It's their rule. I
If he hasn't killed you, maybe that suggests how he felt.
Then I would know. But the day never came. He has left me to wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I have devoted my years to learning everything.
She wants to find out about Thaos and the Leaden Key.
In hopes I would find some clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away.
Because they're dark.
I have precious little to show.
I would expect.
Just an old woman nagged by old thoughts.
Bad enough.
And that is truly everything I can tell you about Thaos.
Okay.
I hope you will accept this embarrassing story as a show of my good faith.
Was it embarrassing? I don't know. Okay, I want to discuss the hearings. The dozens have accepted me.
It is the dozens that the Duke fears most. If you have their ear, you will most certainly have Avar's.
He's not going to like it though.
No more time here.
Get to the palace.
Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Thaos can be rooted out.
Oh, I can get some brandy afterwards. Okay, well that's great. I'll see you later. Attend the hearings at the Ducal Palace. Let's do it. Let's mobilize everyone against the bad guys of this story, you know. Maybe they're trying to do good things. But clearly not. Let's do it. You know, they seem pretty evil to me. They're turning people into stone, turning on things to steal people's souls. There's nothing good that can come of any of that, is there? Surely. Surely not. Well, let's find out. Oh, we don't get attacked by more people. Oh, we're going to rest, actually, first. Can't camp here. No camping in the streets is allowed. So that's some first fires. The Ducal Palace. So I don't know that I agree with the dozens. Although there are a lot of these Animancers who don't really know what they're doing. Who are using the name to make a name for themselves. Charlatans, you might say. As is often the case. I don't know why the cat stays so far behind when he's following us. So, up here. Into the palace. And then we'll see what this meeting's all about. What do you think? Something bad's going to happen in here, isn't it? Like the Leaden Key will have spies inside. Waiting. Lurking. Hoping they can stop us. They will have. Obviously. Well, let's see. Let's see what we can learn. See what kind of allies we can gain. Perhaps. Where was the meeting room again? This way. Go to the upper floor. I don't want to go to the balcony. I want to go into the place. The balcony's been opened for me. Okay, but does this mean we get to talk? The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible Knights, stiff in their noisy armour, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Dominel, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are Animancers in their academics' robes with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then,
At the back of the chamber
Master Barash.
sits the
You
Duke.
Animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy. What progress can you demonstrate?
As I've said, it isn't about
Let's hear what they got to say.
It's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more. Animancy goes, or this country goes.
Yeah, these guys are, you know...
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it
Oddly
ever
enough, the Knights might be more likely to be on his side.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand.
Is he not?
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
His work was sabotaged.
Our new delegate from the dozens. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in Brackenbury Sanitarium who tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage.
Is Azo not still
Is
accountable?
Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Well, I mean, he's still guilty because he was doing experiments that he shouldn't have been doing. Azo should be held guilty.
Exactly. Look at what happened.
I mean, I can't say that he isn't.
Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves.
Your Grace.
It wasn't
we'd have a
Animancy
much
that did
easier
that.
time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia. You turn a blind eye and look what happens.
It's not the workings of Animancy, but an ancient device in Ternuneth. Been to Heritage Hill since the quarantine. Though the Knights were unable to control the damage, it was not Animancy, but an ancient machine that caused it.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
You think some rotting corpse or volunteer guard could stand in my way? I earned my answers.
I'll grant that you look the part. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Ternuneth houses an Engwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district undead. I think that was the machine's purpose.
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of Animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
I've reason to believe there were others at the tower who might have done
Animancy
this.
has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
That's true.
You're missing the point. Everywhere there's Animancers, there's disaster. We all know what Whitewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some
Really?
sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge.
Well, I don't know.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order.
Well, he's
while the
bound to say
rest of
that,
us
isn't
gotta
he?
Suffer for it.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion?
Yeah, what proof?
What proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house.
Okay.
We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them.
What's that got to do?
My wife lived
What's that got to do with the Animancers? That's not proof of anything.
as long as he couldn't next morning, she wasn't breathing.
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point.
Why do the other states that permit it not
Why do
suffer
the other
this?
states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate?
I can. Wydran's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Caedmon Azo's downfall was their work, as was the Tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. The dull mattering expands into a din of skepticism. I've seen them in the ruins of Erglanfath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls near towns like Gilded Vale and Durford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I've heard their dead confess their plot. They're stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
Oh, you shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it. If, as the Duke says, no theory is more proof than any other, what's the harm in hearing one more?
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Let's see, Lord, tells her to stop, she'll only want her lover more. Her lovers just visited a brothel, required approximately like, no. We all want the same thing here, we want Wydran's legacy to end. I don't really like any of those options. Leaden Key's very real. It says deceptive. I don't want to give them deceptive answers. I don't like that one either. I feel like the rational answer is the way to go.
Another guess! Throw him out on his ass, Your Grace! He's
I've seen these
wasting
people
our
carrying out their
time.
missions in the ruins of Erglanfath.
Justicia's right. This is sanitarium talk.
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider.
Matters of the Dozen supported my search for
How
answers.
was it you came to learn all this?
Yeah.
Though it would seem that not all of them were in on your investigation.
No.
Nevertheless, I am
Certainly
pleasantly
not.
surprised by their open-mindedness here. But these hearings are about more than Wydwan's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Animancy should be studied. If you don't, someone else will, and they'll wield great power over you. They serve their own ambitions and purposes, giving them this power is like setting a child loose.
That is all I wish to hear. I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood.
What's he going to do? What's his pronouncement going to be?
Representing the interests of Animancers in
Is he going to let Animancers continue to study? Or is he going to get rid of them? Oh, who's this? Uh-oh. This is that guy. Trouble. Big trouble.
Arguments for and against Animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Well, they're about to destroy Animancy.
We will accept no judgment but our own.
Oops.
What's he doing?
He's been taken over by someone.
No, no, wait!
So it's war then. Stop him.
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another
Get him.
time. I'm already late.
It was him that did it. Oh, great. What's happened to me? I've just fallen. The words "shall I end it for you" ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Thaos hurries out the building. The world dims around you. The screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Thaos stands at a pulpit high over an assembly of robed onlookers. You among them, clustered around a wide circular pit, carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backward over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests a spine in ruins. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
That's what she says.
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
So an eternal prison for her soul. He nods to a hooded attendant who begins untying her from the wheel. Oh, good. I open my eyes to the beamed ceiling of the palace's grand entry hall. The clangs of metal striking metal waft in from outside alongside the cries of the injured as we stagger to our feet. Get up, trouble's already found us. Lady Webb, she must be told, she'll know what to do. Please, find her, tell her everything. Right, we need to get to Lady Webb's house. We need to run. There's rioting in the streets, not much we can do about that, is there? It's the quickest way to get where we need to go. Up to the top, probably. To the right from the door. I think. Let's go. Two-sided. A quest failed. Oh, I need to go down those stairs. Damn. I failed a quest. I don't even know what quest it was. Oh, I can't leave that way. Try down here then. You know, past the place the knights live. These lot are in league with the Animancers, he says. I don't think that's true. I can't exit that way. Someone attacking us, or are they... I'm just gonna keep going, to be honest. I do want to proceed toward Brackenbury and Lady Webb. The only trouble is there's just open fighting in the streets. Might be my fault. These people didn't want to believe me anyway. Oh, dead Animancers. Just not what we needed to see, really. These people are just doing very stupid things. Really. Into Hadrat House then. There was nothing we could do to stop that. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if this was her plan all along. Uh-oh. Everybody's dead. Now, was everybody killed by people rioting? Like the whole place. Every single person who was in here. Gone. Take a close look around. I may as well pick up their money. I mean, they don't have any need for it anymore. Task failed, clandestine cargo. I'm failing quests left, right and centre. I need to do something actually. Do that. There's no one here to see us stealing anything. It's not anything worth stealing actually. Okay, well let's go up the stairs and see if she's still alive. I failed some tasks and I don't really know. I feel like I did this completely the wrong way. Completely the wrong way. Like I've made a serious mistake. Or maybe it was just that I should have completed those missions before. Maybe that's all it is. Oh, here she is. Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled beneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry as shattered glass rests on the floor. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your ken. Let's reach for it. We're immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls from the streets outside come the sounds of screams and shattering glass, and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip, and it warms your gullet. Across the room the door opens behind a patient, steady push. Into the room walks Thaos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandies trickle down your throat before you speak. I was a fool.
To think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You're concentrating, focusing with all of your energy. It feels as though you're diving into a stone wall over and over. But it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
Oh, she's managed to get into his thoughts.
I've had time to practice.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He draws a long curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Thaos slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life, but in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Thaos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing.
And looks like we're on to Act 3.
Sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. No patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with
So the Animancers are getting killed.
torn away from their families. And
There's no reason for that.
to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately.
But unfortunately Thaos did exactly what he needed to do
Animancer was to blame.
to get the Animancers taken down.
Little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down
Yeah.
the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood.
I'm not sure whose fault that was.
Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms.
Twin
Thaos
Elms.
was bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the Leaden Key itself.
concerning. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there were a few things that we failed to do there before. But we seem to be okay now. The pass through Stormwall Gorge is open. So the main quest line is we have to travel to Twin Elms. Everything's just trouble. As you cross the bridge, Aloth draws up beside you. The fires of Defiance Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across one half of his face, the other's in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something. I have
Yeah.
not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point.
Oh, here we go.
When I finished my training in Adir, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of animancy.
Alright, so you didn't like Animancers either.
Far away from the Seathwood, my father and his earl. At that time, it was enough. In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the Leaden Key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I
Alright.
sincerely believe they
So wait, he was on the side of the Leaden Key?
their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on animancy in the region. A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the
So
local
he-
lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed the way you saw. At the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
This is interesting. So he knew I was coming.
I couldn't have. I'd been out of contact with my superiors for months. I needed
Okay.
some kind of direction. After that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned the hooded figures in the machine.
Yeah.
And I was sure you
So he
were
decided
the Leaden
to
Key. And
tag
he was
along.
correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected.
Oh, there we go. He doesn't agree with what they're doing, at least. So maybe he's not going to turn on us.
Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. Now the whole city is up in flames.
And it was all their fault.
I'm still not sure about animancy. But I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology. And my service. Let me fight with
Okay, I forgive you.
Thaos.
I want you beside me, not behind me. I'm not asking you to trade one master for another. Okay, well let's get moving then. Let's get out of here. Move back. What we'll do is we'll go back to Caed Nua first. See about some improvements. 22 hours it'll take of in-game time. And we'll see if any of the things we've done have improved our lot inside of Caed Nua. It's always a good thing to return here. What I need to do actually is make sure that we've got some of the merchants in here next. Now that it's fairly well protected.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Oh, isn't it? It's very nice. We fixed all the curtain walls. I don't need to go here to learn any of this, but where are we? Library finished in 1 day, 3 hours. There's actually no reason for us to be here. I just wanted to, unless I just want to see if there's anything that's come along since. No, that's fine. However, what we could do, well, see that all of the hirelings I had before are gone. We'll have that guy. Anyone that gives us an improvement, that guy. +2 there. And that. And one of them. That'll do for now, I think. Why not a Vanguard Soldier too? That's a lot of money that we're going to have to spend on them. But that should help us. That should protect us a bit better. So in terms of missions, we have to travel to Twin Elms. There's also a mission here about going to Durgan's Battery in the White March. That, obviously, that mission we tried to do, but is very difficult. We'll do it eventually, but not yet. For now, yeah, let's go to Twin Elms then. Where is it? It is over there. So I guess to get there we need to go to probably Durford Village. And then move east. Actually, maybe not. Maybe that's the wrong place to go. Well, we'll see. Need more camping supplies as well. Oh look, someone's arrived from Twin Elms. Looking for an escort. Maybe I should go back there and do that. It would make sense, wouldn't it? If they're asking me to escort them somewhere. To Twin Elms, maybe. Then we should definitely head back there and pick that up as soon as we're going there anyway. It wouldn't make much sense to, you know, to go there and then have to come back and do that anyway. Plus this probably now means that the library will be finished. But more than that, it just gives us a mission to finish. Right. So the library is complete. Supplicant. If ignored. Fine, let's pay him off. I thought that was something that was actually useful, but no, it wasn't. Dungeons. Lets us take prisoners. I think that's what we need. Merchant stall.
Keeps coming along nicely.
And now we can go, and I should have just gone there in the first place. Oh no, it was Stormwall Gorge, wasn't it? Because that's what someone said. Stormwall Gorge is now open or something. Yeah, that's what it said. It said Stormwall Gorge is now open, so presumably by going to the bottom of Stormwall Gorge we can actually get to Twin Elms? Maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Yes. So yeah, the water... Oh, there we go. I mean, I've got to pay quite a lot of wages to our hirelings. 350. But we pick up quite a lot of money from selling all the stuff we get anyway, so we should be okay. Nobody leveled up for anything recently, which is a shame. Excuse me. But down here, I believe, should be the way we're looking to go. I think. It's a long walk, though. I know. What? Oh, okay. It was the path. It was the other path. Yeah, I think we need to go down this hill and come out of there this way. Before it was covered in water, but then we did do something before in another place that reduced the water. Yeah, there we go. We can actually go somewhere here now. He arrives at last. Who's this? Who's this? It's a Leaden Key wizard. Well, well, well. Finally. You should have remained in Defiance Bay, but I'm glad you didn't have better sense. I've looked forward to this since you got in our way. Walk away before you get hurt. You've got a noble heart. I'm going to enjoy seeing it burn. Time to end this. Well, you see, the first person that's going to burn is you. Let's see. Is she all mouth? All bark and no bite? Yes, she is. All bark, no bite. And you. Imagine these people agreeing to a suicide mission.
You give me any more gifts and people will start thinking you're playing favorites.
Not that that's a great thing to say, but yeah. Really were sent on a mission to just go nowhere, weren't they? Okay, so Elm Shore, which will take us towards the area we need to go to, I think. To a new area of a bit more interest, maybe. Merchant stalls are constructed, so let's construct something else. Okay, so we can do the dungeons. I want to do the craft hall, actually, because that gives us a weapons and armor merchant. No, let's do the dungeons just to get it done. I think that's the best option. So I don't think this is a very big area, but we'll see. What's this? Some Durcap, whatever. It's a mushroom, toadstool, fungi thing. One of those options is correct. What's that? An Adra thing of some kind? Or just a rock formation? Oh, we've got some nasty enemies here. Forest trolls and... oh my word. Okay, that's a lot more than I expected. Come on, we have to fight them off. Especially the forest lurkers, and that's a lot of them. Where do they all come from? That's... wow. Come on, take them down. We're in serious trouble here. Fight.
I'm stuck.
Oh. He's down. One of us is down. Where did this fight come from? Just suddenly we're being annihilated. Hurry up. Okay, we did it. But we're gonna have to rest. We have to. No choice. But that suggests to me that there are a lot of very nasty fights in this area. Oh no, 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 no. Just stay here for a minute. Nope, run away. All the way up here. Although, if we don't get bunched up as much, we might be okay. Take that one. Take the big one. He can't die, because if he dies this time, I think he dies permanently. Kill it. These are big fights with very strong enemies. Get up to the path. Please get up to the path. Not that being on the path necessarily helps. In fact, it probably totally doesn't. Okay, how many other things are with it? Wait. And go. Adragan. Etrigan. Oh, the demon Etrigan. No. Not really. We need Batman's help. There we go. Okay, let's keep moving. It's not a very promising journey if... Where's this going? Cross the river. Very interesting. That doesn't take us where we want to go, does it? At all. So the other way, the road went a different direction. Go back to the road and try that way. Because obviously it kind of forked off here, didn't it? Yeah, we'll try that. I'm not a big fan of walking along these roads, to be honest. Oh, another bridge. Another route to take. Oh, here we go. What's this? This is like we're on the right track.
Anyone suspected of treachery must be reported at once.
Treachery?
Good, you have come.
Oh, he's talking to me now.
Recent defections from our order caused by this apostate in Kratom.
Yes.
This is a dangerous woman whose lies spread like plague. She inspires chaos, sows conflict. Because of these unusual circumstances.
He's looking to take people out.
All our initiates personally to ensure there is no more dissension.
Because she was one of us.
Who she was no longer matters. If her following continues to grow, there will be war, and all our work will be undone.
I think we begin to understand what he's doing.
You were recruited from Kratom, were you not? You must have known this heretic woman, Yavara.
We may have met.
This friendship has no place in our current state of affairs.
I understand.
This woman has marked herself an enemy of the gods. They will not look favorably upon her friends.
Okay, fair enough.
Trusting you to remain loyal to the gods in this. If you do not, you will have greater powers than me to answer to.
But it'll answer him to him too. I understand. So he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to them. What are those things? Boars? Okay. Let's follow the path and see if it takes us where we need to go or not. That says Twin Elms, so it looks like that's the right way. Hearthsong. Hearthsong. 12 hours that's going to take. Let's do it. Make it happen. But I don't know if this is going to be a place where we're going to find people we can talk to, whether these are all old ruins and we're going to have to fight our way through them. If the Leaden Key are here, chances are it's not anything good. Doesn't look like it, does it? Oh no, there's people. Estromor's still that creature there, I guess.
Estromor?
Warrior saunters over, a sneer of suspicion visible beneath streaks of paint. He glances at your gear before favouring you with a long look. Another fugitive from the burning city. The 6 tribes of Glanfath welcome you to Twin Elms. Before you lies the Hearthsong district. You're free to explore it, but do not let your feet stray into the other districts. Those are forbidden to Estromorn. What can you tell me about Twin Elms? It's sacred to all Glanfathans, as it's the place where our ancestors first encountered the Builders. That fated meeting turned our people from generations of wandering to a permanent home among the Builders' relics. When the Builders commanded us to settle here, they allowed us the unique privilege to live among their structures here. It's the only place in Glanfath where this is permitted. The Sacred City is divided into 4 districts. Hearthsong, the Commons District, Old Song, the site of our temples, Elm's Reach, home of Delimgan and Druids, and the Burial Isle, which is the most sacred place in the city. I'd like to hear about Hearthsong. This is Hearthsong. It's a place where Glanfathans and Estromorn may gather together. It's also the site of the Passage of the Six, where our tribal leaders, the Anamfatha, meet. That way is the market. Guard your purse there. No one bargains like a Glanfathan. And if you need a place to stay, follow the fence to the east. There you will find the way to the Celestial Sapling. Tell me about Old Song. There's Noonfrost, which is dedicated to Rumergand. A group of pale elves from the frozen Southlands arrived not long ago to oversee it. There's also the Nest, a temple of Hylia, and Gallowayne's Maw, a den of beasts dedicated to the hunter god. The route to the Burial Isle also lies that way. Tell me about Elm's Reach. There lies Tir Evron, one of the only towers of the Builders still in perfect condition. 2 great elm trees twine around it. Even the mightiest works of the gods protect the works of the Builders. 2 Delemgan sisters dwell there now. The Hall of Warriors stands at the other end of the district. Rumour has it that an Amfath Simok of the 3-tusked Stelgaer is there now. Do you know anything about the Burial Isle? It's a place where our Anamfatha are laid to rest among stones placed by the Builders. They say the souls of some of the Anamfatha linger there still. The way lies through Old Song. It's the holiest place in all of Twin Elms. That's all I want to know. Why is it forbidden to enter the other districts? Twin Elms is a sacred city, built where the first keepers of the stone met the Builders. It exists alongside the works of the Builders, and it's the only place in all of Glanfath where it's permitted to set foot among these sacred places. The Estromorn, however, do not have proper respect for the stones here. A leader of one of the tribes could give you the permission of the city. Only Anamenfath Bethel is present in the Passage of the Six today, and she has her own troubles. I haven't heard of the Keepers of the Stone. The oldest of the 6 tribes. Up the stairs and into the Passage of the Six. This is where an Anamfatha gather. Bethel, the Anamenfath of the Guided Compass, can tell you more. I'll keep your words in mind. Okay, well, let's take a look around.
Been out this way before. Hard to believe it's the same country.
Strange man breaking into Tir Evron. So, we can't go to any of these areas yet, because I've got a feeling that if we do, we'll probably get in some trouble. What we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at these, well, that house, there's a couple of other houses before we go to the Passage of the Six, because obviously that would appear to be where our mission's going to take us. Where's that? Well, what's that place? I'm going to go this way so that I can maybe read the caption on that. There is no caption on that. Wait. No, this is the Passage of the Six. We'll go there in a minute. We've got lions with people. So there's a Glanfathan home up here that we can apparently visit. Must be this one. It is. But we need a key. Stelgaer. Okay, so now we go up here over the top and see what's up this way. Yeah, take a left beyond this next building, if we can. Oh. Sorry, I didn't realise I couldn't go that way. I now know I can't. So we'll go this way instead. Interesting. So this is a Glenfathan home that we can go into. Lancy's dwelling. Or Yancey's dwelling, I don't know. We'll take a look in these houses and see what's around us. So I wonder how... See, the problem is Thaos can get in by just, you know, taking control of somebody. Lancy. Tell me about yourself. The locals have called me a wise woman, a term of respect, I'm sure. But it makes me feel my years. I'm an herbalist and healer. I spend most of my time caring for the ill, helping with the delivery of children, and making remedies for those in pain. I like your songbird. Does it have a name? Well, he does, but I ought not to let my friend's daughter name him. The name is long and rather silly. The short version is Beaker. The next bird I have will be named after an Animancers. Good to know. Maybe. I mean, it doesn't seem like a very important thing to learn. But maybe it'll become important. Or maybe all that'll happen is that eventually there'll be some sort of mission that'll take me through that. I guess we'll never know. That's a silly thing to say actually, because of course we will know if it's the truth. Right, is this house too? This is just a Hearthsong dwelling. So yeah. You shall see. Nobody in here. Dried herbs crunch between my fingers, giving us a sweet floral aroma. And I'm not stealing from people just now because they already don't trust me very much. So it would probably be better if we don't take their stuff. Just thinking. Oh, sorry. I just knocked my knee on my desk. Okay, so instead what we want to do is go to this Passage of the Six. If we can. Because there's nothing else to do there. So to get in we have to kind of go round. Back to where we started. Wait. Yeah. Into this door down here. Yes, I want to go to the Passage of the Six, please. Please allow me entry. It seemed to me that the whole situation in Defiance Bay was never going to be really fixable, was it? Especially as soon as they made the Animancer kill the Duke. So this is obviously Stone Bramble, Keepers of the Stone, the Guided Compass.
Estremore.
Yes, I listen, foreigner. What are you talking about? News from beyond, east of the Great River. Great River? Great River, the Durwood. Fires have returned to the foreigner city, we've heard. Defiance Bay, its waters run foul and dense with the stench of corpses. Not even the recent floods could wash away the stain of its corruption, a dying prey. Some see it as such among us, a chance to strike. Others not so. Only a council of the Animfatha can decide what the 6 tribes must do as one. Tell me more about the council. Animfatha lead our tribes, one for each. They speak with the spirit of our peoples and act in our name, with our will. The council of Animfatha means the tribes commune as one. But no common will is found. Just now, when the Durwood ails like a wounded beast, only 2 Animfatha currently shelter within Twin Elms, while the rest attend to their tribes. They must return. Too far, too consumed with duties. The Animfatha will not gather soon. Another season at least. We wait until then. Tell me about the building. The hearth of all Glanfathans, the 6 tribes. We honour our people here in this passage. Offerings are made, symbols of respect to each tribe. This is the house of our ancestors and our peoples at once. The Animfatha, when all of them are present in Twin Elms, form a council at the end of the passage. From there our history moves on. Okay, goodbye. So is there someone up here? Oh yeah. An area that I didn't even see when I was walking up. So we have these Animfatha, I guess.
Another Estremor. What do you want?
I'm looking for another who passed through the city.
Morin are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious. There are reasons we don't let you Estremoran roam our sacred city.
I understand.
Reasons I am coming to understand.
You're having trouble, maybe I can help.
Looters have grown bolder at the sites of the builders.
Looters?
The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers. At our border.
Suddenly I feel the presence of someone else in the hall. The Animancers continues to glare at me, but something has stepped out of her skin.
More strangers, the freedom of the
Weird.
city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Animanfath Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the 6th.
Oh, okay.
He would not be so kind as I.
Okay, but we're surrounded by things. Feralt. Vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethel. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them, he points behind you. Turning, you see the ghostly shapes of 5 other Animfatha. Another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face, a frowning dwarf, a black-furred Orlan and 2 elves. Who's the other Orlan? He looks just like you. Is your idea of a joke? You're kind of no sense of subtlety. The spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them, and he grimaces and leans forward as if struggling against a gale. The angry Animancers winces. War! They're headed for war. Remind them of Feralt's warning. You see the soul of an old Orlan Animfath with your eyes hovering right next to you. Do you remember Feralt's warning? Feralt's soul image gasps, taut threads of essence tug at him. I tried to tell them the builders' souls have touched even the Estremorn.
Better explain yourself.
The builders' souls have touched even the Estremorn.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless...
There we go.
You are a Galus on Anums, a watcher of souls.
Feralt tried to warn the other tribes. What does he warn them of?
Came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Animfath of our tribe then. When the Estremoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Feralt urged the other Animfatha to patience.
Yeah.
But louder,
angrier voices prevailed.
Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others.
True, you definitely should.
He worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations. And
after 2 wars, his warning is more relevant than ever. I think that feels okay.
While Feralt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then.
Yeah, obviously everything that's happened can't be undone.
The wars and the
Can't be unhappened, if you like. That's not a phrase, but, you know, maybe you could make it one, I don't know.
And that is all anyone remembers now.
An image of a polished Adra cube flashes into your mind. There is writing on the sides, but the image is too faint. The Animancers turns away from you, looks at the ground, gnawing a pointed claw. Can't change the past, but your choices now still matter. Yes, that's the problem.
Another Estremor came through here a few days ago, and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estremoran. One that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man, who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
Okay, well that sounds like the man I came here to stop.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar Twin Elms from Estremoran to protect the ancient places that the builders left behind.
I don't want to fight these people.
Heritage to us to defend, but they alone.
I can see a polished Adra cornerstone in my mind. This time the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. Gift from the builders of civilization to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door, while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone. Very
I know.
Well.
I'm allowed to look around.
Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing.
Find the Delimgan of Ter Evran in Elm's Reach.
If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgan of Ter Evran in Elm's Reach.
Okay.
If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgan will know.
Sounds good. In the meantime, she'll be here to assist me. Farewell. Ter Evran in Elm's Reach. There's a lot more people in here all of a sudden. So where do we find that person? Okay, let's see. So where did she say they were? Did they say in Elm's Reach? I don't want the side quest just now. In Elm's Reach. Okay, good. That's where we're going. Elm's Reach. Helm's Deep. No. Where's the guard that we're supposed to talk to? It's not the Celestial Spring I'm going to anyway. Although I can go pretty much anywhere, I will try just going to where I was told to go first. For more conversation, no doubt. Here I am. I come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the guided compass. Always too cozy with the Estremorn. Go then and mind your step around the sacred stones. I will. I don't want to damage anything. Elm's Reach it is. It's quite a long way. An hour to get between these places. But then this is more of like an elvish town, so I suppose it's a village, whatever you might want to say. It's a collection of areas, it's not necessarily like a single city like the other area was, obviously. Okay, so oh, there's a fight over it, no? Mind your paths, Estremor, the guided compass trusts easily, but I don't. Fair enough. I'll try not to bother you too much. Where did she say this person was? Delmgan at Terevron in Elm's Reach. Terevron is up there, the tree. Let's try... I want to go and look at this place first. Oh, look, they wouldn't let me in. They're calling me whatever, but my character's an elf. Surely they should let me in. Without any question. I suppose because I'm not actually from their area, they want nothing to do with me. But that's the Hall of Warriors. And up this way over the bridge is the place we need to go.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so
There we
many
go.
others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara ex Inicios. But not you.
Underestimated in the
I
beginning.
underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
You honour me, Grand Inquisitor.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel of the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds
one moment.
poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now.
One sec. Apologise for that, just needed to go and do something very quickly. Let's see what else he's got to say.
We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court. Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution. You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
A lot of machinations. Many of which are slightly troubling. Well, let's cross this and see where we get to. Here we are. Well, some people just appeared. And no doubt they're going to want to talk to us. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin's tree bark, ridged and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds, or even thousands, of concentric rings as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
Okay, well let me talk to you for a minute.
I cannot feel it, sister.
Something familiar.
Familiar,
An ancient soul awakened.
like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell him and be troubled.
Hold up.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must
see a
not
different
listen to
motive.
judgment.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I see a man who came through here.
By his own admission, Sheetha.
Yeah, but I'm looking for him so I can get rid of him.
And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
You would be correct.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Thaos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. suspicious even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
Now. Stopping him might end Wideone's legacy.
So that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the Leaden Key.
Yeah, that's true.
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila. He has always been a poison.
Yeah, he absolutely has. You're totally 100% correct.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Thaos?
Well, almost the lady we helped. Almost.
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
Yeah, I think that's probably something you'd have to continue to imagine.
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man. I see it now.
Yeah, I think he woke me up.
You are awakened. Your soul is awakened something once buried deep.
My time has nearly reached its end.
Past
I just...
present closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
Well, I just need to get to
I'm
Thaos.
sorry to tell you this, but Thaos cannot give you what you
An awakening can't be undone.
nor can anyone. An awakening cannot be undone.
Well, that's not what I want to hear.
More than your past can be undone.
I thought Mirwald said... This is permanent? What? But that can't be right, not after everything. There must be someone else we can ask. I'm sorry. It's all been for nothing. I'm going to lose my mind.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
I'd rather have tried to put things right. A noble thought, but for the lifetimes that separate you from your problems.
As much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way
Oh, there may be a way forward.
There may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Sheila?
But what is it? That's the question.
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
Well, what is it?
Thaos, you must already know by now.
Linked by a
You
common
are linked by a
past.
common past.
So
Something
tied in
about it
together
is
in some way.
festering, unresolved. What it is, I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, we do not see.
So we need to work out what our common past is.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest.
Yeah,
Though
if
is
it was,
equally
then maybe that would
possible
fix the
it can
problem. Is that what you're saying?
as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
Well, that's possible too. My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
To come on its own, of course. But
Yeah.
when it comes, it will replace your sanity.
Yeah, so it's not the best way to do it then.
Such
To
is
just
the
wait.
nature of your condition.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Thaos, would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge.
If he ever knew, and he
Never
still
knew.
does.
He still does.
But did he know? That's the question.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You
Yeah, that's the
followed
problem.
The right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places.
We may have wandered into his path many times.
You may have wandered into Thaos' path
Without an
many
awakening.
times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find.
I didn't find what I sought. You said you know where he went.
Gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we.
Beneath the tower.
Where the people of Engwith once walked.
To
It makes
Sun and
this place a
Shadow.
buried city, sun and shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
Nice.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret
Oh.
path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him.
So he
for some
destroyed the
time.
secret path that he was using. Is there some way to get there?
I know of one. On the burial
On the
isle,
burial
The
isle.
port of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A
Braeth
short
Yaman.
walk back.
Don't be
Okay.
cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not...
Not for the faint of heart. Well, we're certainly not faint of
A
heart.
great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods,
So we've got...
it
Yeah.
can take you where you want to go.
What do you mean with the help of the
The
gods?
pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you
So,
must pass
I jump
through
down
sun
there
and shadow.
and somehow survive a massive fall. That's what they're trying to suggest.
The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
And what is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial.
This is the trial of heretics.
We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all.
So they put people in the pit as imprisonment, apparently.
Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below. The fall killed
An awful lot of bodies down there.
The prison was not for people, but for their
Right,
sins,
right.
and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented.
So we would
and
have to
committed
pledge
by the
ourselves
gods
to one of the
send them
gods
to the pit, so long
get
as
back
we
out?
pledge their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
How would I ever get them to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
Who for? Who to? Any god you
I will
can.
pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
And how do I pray?
Called the Hall of Stars, and the
Ah,
stars
see, we
show
get to see the allegiances of the gods.
When stars are in conjunction, you should choose a place
Makes
to pray
sense.
when you be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands
Who else stands alone, pray to that god.
If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely. For all. Before you
Okay.
go, tell me this, old one.
If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him?
If you were
What
to
would give you
subdue your
peace?
enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
I wish to undo the harm he's
You need to have
caused.
twice as many lifetimes as he to repair his savage work.
Perhaps there are strides we can
All the
make.
same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course.
Yeah,
In the end, it may mean all the difference, and be warned.
I understand.
Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Well, hopefully I might. We'll see, I guess. So wait, is that where I want to go? Let's see. The Delimgun sisters directed me to Ter Evron to petition the favour of gods. Okay, so we're going in Ter Evron then. Ter Evron, Ter Evron, Ter Evron. That's not even close. Zac Efron? No, it's not. Oddly enough, that's not who it is either. I mean, it could be, I suppose, but I'd rather it wasn't. Okay, so this is where we meet the gods. However, there's a quest here. Among the kind wayfarers in the event the member of the order dies. Okay, so we need to send someone out to help them. Send him. How long's left on these upgrades? 1 day till the dungeons are completed. So what is all this? Jonas. Tomorrow I become the effigy. Tomorrow I become Skane's embodiment on Eora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. For months we met by secret conclave to plot our landlord's demise, all the while work in the fields as if our hearts were content. Skane teaches us to plot with the mind while keeping one's face impassive. Inscrutable, fair fights are for those with armies. The quiet slave is our whetstone, our focus in his workshop. Our cause finds focus, clarity and possibility. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. By the time you read this I'll be dead. I pray Skane does not abandon me for speaking of my plotting. But a son deserves to know how his father died, for I had volunteered to be the effigy. Skane will inhabit my body, using this old farmer's simple flesh as a puppet of godly rage. I've been shaved and anointed. Tomorrow morning I will be your father in name only. As my manhood will be removed. Nice. My nose and ears removed, and my useless mortal eyes will be replaced with flint stones, through which Skane might see the world. My son, I'm sorry for the lies I've told you these past few seasons, but Skane demands secrecy. Even your mother knows nothing of my furtive service to the quiet slave. Curse my name if you must, but never weep for me, for I die for the betterment of our community, to smite our lord's corruption from the face of Eora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip, for tomorrow I become the effigy. Interesting. Missives of the Hand occult? Dearest brother, or was it sister? May this letter find you in well spirits. A man of thuggish bearing stormed into my library the other day and demanded I help him find a book on the construction of an arquebus. I thought it proper service to Whale to steer this man toward an illuminated manuscript on the subject of whittling toy soldiers and other miniature props. Unamused by my solution, I shrugged and said, "What's an answer without a question?" He did not find my spiritual rhetoric helpful or amusing, and so he punched out 2 of my teeth. I trust your summer has been less tumultuous than mine. In more important news, my apprentice claims she saw the eyeless face in a dream the other night. I admit I was so mad with envy that at first I refused to believe her. Whale forgive me for such a lapse of judgment. She described an Omaa of brilliant blue hues with a featureless face, surrounded by a swarm of eyes, no 2 eyes alike. She claims Whale ignored her questions, and she can't recall any specifics of what was said. In fact, my apprentice seems to have forgotten many things since before the visitation. I don't know if Whale's the god we really want to be involved with. The many faces of Barath. We know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Barath, while the Valians know the same god as Serono. Barath teaches that duality exists in all things, life and death, death and life. Barath depicted in the form of 2 semi-skeletal figures, 1 male, 1 female, Bunin Yanku and Ankuri Bunin, life and death and life, in the Glanfath and tongue. It said that Barath has the most petitioners of every god, and this likely true. Who amongst us has not prayed for the cycle to hiccup? Okay, interesting. What's on the other side? More books? 10 years of dawn. 10 years I tilled the Vorless leaf, and 10 years I told myself that living in St. Widewin's footsteps would bring me rebirth. Each dawn I'd pray that if thou art in darkness he shall bring thee light, and each night would bring the same emptiness. My decade of living as a simple dye farmer, all I have to show for it is a great deal of purple clothing. Eothas has not spoken to since he appeared as St. Widewin. It was my hope that Eothas would claim me as his next vessel, but alas, the Child of Light remains silent. I feel like Eothas might be the... I don't know. Selected correspondences of Giftbringer Aiden. Sing ocean waves of Ondra's sorrow, of her unrequited love for the unattainable moon, so Ondra. The tides reenact Ondra's longing for the great moon. The waters reach out at high tide, yearning for the heavenly body, only to slump into low tide when the moon proves unattainable. He asked me once why I loved Ondra so dearly, how I could go from a life on dry land to becoming a devotee of the goddess of the oceans. Truth be told, I and other gift-bearers I know have never even spoken to Ondra. She's largely silent, and when she does speak, she uses floods and tidal waves instead of words. The enigmatic god of cold. Young students are often confused by Barath and Remergan's seemingly overlapping roles in holding dominion over death. Barath oversees the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Remergand oversees the cold, destructive act of death itself. Okay. I don't know how that really helps me, but... And more books. Book of the Hunt. Gallowayne. Does one ask a deer to present itself as dinner? Of course not. Perseverance and cleverness are prized by Gallowayne above brute force. That sounds a bit like my character. Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. Abaddon rebuilt himself from ruin, no setback is insurmountable. Abaddon demands honest labour. All ignorance can be reforged into knowledge. Master your craft, excel at what you've been trusted to do. Each generation must forge its successors. Sounds interesting. Excerpts from the Sermon of Struggle. Choice is a luxury we earn through peace. Struggle is our fundamental nature. Magrin is goddess of fire and war, not bloodshed and conquest, though many in Red Ceres would tell it differently. How bitter they must be that Magrin's priests were able to destroy a god made manifest. How bitter indeed. Soldiers' armours, watchmen and bodyguards worship Magrin. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad one to go with. The Midwife's Memoirs. My mother lived every note of life's song, bringing me into this world was her last verse. For this my father scorned me and abandoned me, and for this very same fact my town's midwife, an adherent of Hylia, raised me as her own Hylia. There we go. I wear the fetish charms of the Cloud Singer, the Queen of Birds. Helps us shepherd new life into the world. Could be interesting with regard to Widewind's legacy. Hylia prefers the worship of 2 children singing over 1,000 petitioners silently praying for victory. The queen that was and still is. Do you still remember your first deliverance when you strangled your first wrongdoer? Did you see the moment when life became death? Could you see the instance when your victim realised that Boudica forgets nothing? Teaches vengeance and memory. No. She's also very bad. Very bad. What's that? So that's obviously the passage that he blocked. A luminescent Adra shard. So what exactly do we do here? Ah. What's going to happen? We're visited by something, or...
Almost beats the Southern Lights.
So what is this? Piercing ring fills your ears as you near Whale's Shrine. There's no other response. The glittering stars of the nearby constellation, you see this grim shape of a skull. Its jaws are open wide, as if frozen in a silent scream. Let's pray to Barath. There's life and death. Oh wait. There's ripple and shift in the air around you as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence and of eyes upon you. I kneel and pray to Barath. Even while my eyes are closed, I see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations. I notice the vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath my feet, and the night air cool on my face. I'm walking. Something looms ahead of me. As I get closer, I see 2 stone figures that look strangely familiar. Our old friends Life and Death and Life were in the realm of the twinned god, and here are its 2 aspects. Remember the door to Cleban Rillag and the 2 figures carved into the mountain next to it? One looks vaguely male and the other vaguely female, only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway is not what you saw in the ruins, it's a skull gaping and jawless. The arms of the 2 sculptures are swept towards the mouth, inviting me in. Let's go in. The road continues through the maw to another shifting landscape. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed facing you. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. Continue down the road. He looks up as I approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at me or through me. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh is detached from the muscle underneath. As I look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself from his newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear. Come, make your sacrifice to the Ethic Knoll. Let's take his hand. The skin gives too easily under the crypt. As I try to pull away, I hear a noise like dried canvas tearing. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Sure enough, he empties the blood, collapses, and dies. Now we can go on. Blood pools around my feet and I look up and see the elven woman waiting further. We start towards her. There's something unnatural about the way she stands. She's too still. When we get closer, we see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisting roots. She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the colour of autumn leaves. And as you look more closely, you realise her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines, spreading brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile as you look on. The leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. Come, graft your soul to the golden grove. take her hand. Her roots twine around your fingers, and as they do, they grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as rough stone bark overtakes her flesh, she can only look on in horror. You break away from her grasp. Her feet are rooted in place. She twists and writhes as if trying to flee. Now that she's still and lifeless, you can continue past. Return them to the wheel and leave. So I have to... what? I have to return them to the wheel? But I don't know how to do that. Okay, well I think we're at the point where I kind of want to end for tonight anyway. We'll go back into that and see if we can work out exactly what needs to do. Maybe we're supposed to attack them instead, I guess. Return them to the wheel, so yeah, we have to attack them and kill them. For now though guys, it's getting a bit, getting towards the end of that, and these sections seem to be taking a long time, a lot of talking and things. So we will come back to this next time. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, please feel free to drop a follow there on Mixer. And if you're watching on YouTube at Supernautus Streams, please feel free to add a like and maybe a subscription too, is what I was going to say, and hit that notification bell for notifications. For now though, thanks very much for tuning in. I'm going to save my game and I'm going to finish up for tonight. And I'm not sure if we'll come back to this really quickly. We may play something else in between. But for now, that's it. So, good night and thank you very much.